Hi, everybody. Happy whichever day of the week it is, because who knows? I hope you're having a good day. You might have just come here after a run, or maybe you're just trying to enjoy a nice, relaxing part of your day. So, however you're doing, I hope you're okay, and I hope that the next 45 minutes are just going to make you feel even better than you were to begin with. Um, we have a lovely little yoga slash mobility flow to work into our calves, a bit of our upper body, lower back, core, a little bit of an all over one today, but those are the main focuses. So we will be stretching into those areas. Obviously, grab any water if you would like to have some, anything that you might need around you. I've got my block and my strap next to me, so do grab something if you need it. And yeah, we'll crack on. We're going to start in a child's pose, a wide leg child's pose actually. Obviously, if it isn't too comfortable for you, then feel free to come into another position. But hopefully, if you can, your legs are going to be somewhere near the edges of your mat. Big toes touching behind you, bottom back on our heels. And then just start to walk your hands forwards. So we're reaching our fingertips towards the end of the mat. Your forehead coming down towards the ground. Doesn't have to be resting on the mat. It depends on how much room you have in the body today. And as I said, feel free to move those legs. So if you do have a more comfortable position, maybe you want to bring the knees a little bit closer together, maybe a little bit more further apart. It's totally up to you. That is absolutely fine. However you want to do it. We're going to spend a few moments here just to start softening in, to breathe a little bit slower. Start to notice how you're feeling, how you're doing. And we don't have to be really stretching or reaching the hands out right now. We're just settling into the mat. Starting to notice how shallow or deep or slow or fast your breath is. No need to change anything. Just notice. Maybe you start to realize you've got some tight hips or a tight back. We can absolutely work on those things, so do not worry. And as you start to bring your attention onto the body now, beginning to deepen your breath. So as you breathe in, really trying to get all of that air all the way down through the chest, towards that lower part of the tummy. And as you breathe out, taking it slow, just letting yourself sink down further into your mat on the exhale. So doing these slow, steady breaths helps us focus, helps us bring over a nice sense of calm by tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system. So we're really just chilling out for a moment, letting ourselves know that we are all good. We're ready to stretch, to release those muscles, to focus just for a little bit on ourselves. One more slow, deep breath. Now just starting to walk both hands over towards your right edge of the mat. Placing your left hand on top of right, really press into both hands so we find a nice deep stretch down this left side of us, through the arm, the shoulder, into the waist, maybe down towards your hips. Still drawing those hips back towards the heels. Slowly moving your hands back across through the front of the mat and then over to the left side. So right hand on top of left this time. Pressing into the mat. Drawing the hips back to find our stretch down the right side body. Notice maybe if your shoulders are creeping up by those ears, you want to give your neck a bit of room, a bit of space. Gently shifting back towards the front of your mat now, and then walking your hands up, moving up into all fours. Take it slow as you wiggle those hips out into an all fours position, knees underneath our hips, wrists underneath our shoulders. And we're going to come straight into a few cat-cows here today, which you've probably all done before. So we're rolling the tummy down to start with, taking the chest forward, shoulders back, looking in front of you. And then opposite direction, start to curl and press up through the belly button, press through the hands, tuck your chin. Taking a few more of these, breathing in as you come forwards, open up through the front of the body. Breathing out as you curl and round through the spine. Press the mat away. One more together. Inhale as you move forwards. Exhale, slowly rolling up. Now from here, just start to close your eyes if they're not already, and just start to move, maybe to your left or right. You don't still have to have that arch in the back, that can slowly start to move out. And then with those eyes still closed, just start to take some circles, some rocks, wiggling in any way that works for you. So a bit of a freestyle moment. It's just you on the mat trying to find those sweet spots into the back, the shoulders, the hips, the waist. Feel free to move in as big or small motions as you wish. So sometimes by just doing these bit of freestyle movements where we're not actually doing anything particular, might feel a bit funky, might look a bit funky, but who cares? No one's watching. We're just moving, finding some lovely little bits to stretch into, maybe some bits we didn't even know needed a stretch. Keep breathing slow. Starting to bring yourself back onto all fours now, coming to still. When you get there, just give those wrists a little shake out. That feels so good. I don't know about you guys, but that always feels good to me when I do that bit of freestyle. So now we're going to move into a puppy pose. From where you are in the all fours position, our hips staying exactly where they are over the knees. We're going to walk our hands out forwards, stretching the arms in front of us. Start to lower down your chest, your chin, your forehead. And to start with, we're not going to actually press any part of the head onto the mat. So we're just pressing into those hands. And we should feel a little bit of a stretch through the arms already. So take a nice breath in, slow breath out. As you feel yourself sinking down a little bit low on your exhale, maybe you can bring your chin or your forehead onto the mat. One of those will be more comfy than the other, and it totally depends on how your upper body and your core is feeling. So go with what works for you. Keeping our hips high, we're really pressing into the hands, trying to get that stretch almost through the armpits, really. That's where you're going to feel it. And I want you to think about drawing up through the core. So instead of just flaring out the ribs and having a bit of an arch like this in the spine, we're thinking here drawing ourselves in. You should have seen that slight change in my body shape. So we're sending the hips away, we're sending the arms forwards, and our chest is still sinking down. And by locking that core just a little bit more in, we're aiming to get that stretch through the arms rather than the flare through the ribs. Taking one more breath here. Slowly bringing yourselves back up. Walking the hands up, back onto all fours, and then through to seated. So we're just going to bring our bottom back to our heels. Give the shoulders a bit of a shake out. Sometimes if they've been doing those little cat-cows and then that puppy pose, they just need a little bit of wiggling. So we're going to wiggle them out. When you're ready, coming back onto all fours. This time as a nice twist into those arms. We are going to bring our right arm up, open all the way to the top. Big breath in as we reach the fingertips high. As you breathe out, threading your right arm underneath left, but hovering it off the ground. So we're not actually going to reach onto the mat or onto the floor. We're reaching the fingertips away. 2 more of those. So breathing in as you lift up. Exhale, reach the arm away. Strong through these fingers. We're still sending all that energy towards the fingertips. Last time, breathing in to lift. Exhale, find a little bit more room. Can we stretch slightly deeper? And release. Your right hand coming back underneath our shoulders in all fours. Over to our left side. Left arm goes up. Inhale as you reach the arm. Open the shoulder, open the chest. Exhale, thread the arm through, hovering the fingertips, hovering the shoulder, the wrist. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, bring the arm through and down. Last time, breathing in. And breathing out. Slowly coming back onto all fours. Nice little wiggle for those shoulders again. Maybe you want to just let your head, your neck rock side to side, have a few rolls. Tucking your toes now, bottom back to heels, pressing into our hands, moving up into a downward dog. So lifting our hips up high. And feel free to wiggle to find that comfortable space. You want to press your hands really, really solidly into the mat. So gripping the mat with those hands. We're lifting up through the core, rolling our shoulders down the spine. And it doesn't matter if our knees are bent and our heels are off the mat. We're thinking about our hips going high. That is the aim of this down dog. The aim of the game here is to get those hips high and have a lovely long spine. Okay, now as we are focusing on a bit of the calves, stretching into today, this is one of my favourite calf stretches. So we're just going to draw one heel down, doesn't matter which one, and hover the other leg off the mat. So for the moment, my right heel is down onto the mat. Yours may not be quite there. You may be on the mat, you may be hovering. As long as we're feeling a stretch through this right calf, or your left calf, depending on which one you moved, that is a-okay. And by taking the weight off of the other foot, we're just really trying to get in, isolate those calves. Still pressing through the arms. We're still strong with this long back. One more breath here. If you can't feel it too much, keep drawing down through the heel. Really try and press it deeper into your mat. Slowly letting go of that side, switching over. So my left foot coming down, yours may be the other way around. Right foot peeling off. You may also notice, like I have, that one leg is just tighter than the other. It's always the way. Still pressing into the hands, drawing down through that heel, rolling our shoulders away from the necks. Maybe as you breathe, you can just sit a bit deeper into that stretch. Find a bit more space through the leg. Nice. Okay, bringing both feet down to the mat. Let's just pedal it out for a moment. So rocking right and left. One knee bends, the other one straightens. Still soft with those necks. Take the shoulders away from the ears, lift tall through those hips, and the core. Okay. From here, we're going to move into what you may have done before is sun salutations. So in your down dog, I want you to still think about those hips going high. And then we're going to walk our feet, knees bend, up towards the front of your mat. When you get there, let's take a halfway lift, rolling our shoulders back, fingertips up towards your shins, open through the chest, breathing in. Exhale as you fold down, find all this heaviness in the upper body. Next breath in, starting to curl our way up, slight bend through the knees as we roll up to standing. Send the arms up high, hands meet at the top and then come down towards your chest. Exhale. Okay, I'm going to do a few of these sun salutations, coming back into our down dog. Nice big breath in, lift the arms high. Exhale, fold forwards, fingertips towards your mat. Maybe they're just hovering. Inhale, lift halfway, roll the shoulders, open your chest. Exhale, fold down, let the chest be heavy. Bending through your knees, hands plant down, stepping back into your downward dog. Good. Okay, 3 more. Starting to walk your feet forwards. Little steps. Inhale, halfway, roll the shoulders, open the chest. Exhale, fill all that length through the spine. Inhale, lift, rolling up, small bend through those knees, arms reach high. Exhale, hands down to our chest. Coming back into that flow, breathe in, arms lift. Exhale, coming all the way down, big fold. Inhale, open up the chest halfway. Exhale, bring yourself down. Hands onto your mat, stepping back into your downward dog, rolling the hips back. Good, starting to just increase that speed a little bit now. So really working with our breathing to try and find a little bit more space, but sometimes a bit more heat as well, which will allow us to stretch that slightly bit more. So walking forward, stepping up towards the front of your mat. Inhale when you get there halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend through the knees, rolling up on your next breath in, all the way to standing, hands meet at the top. Exhale, bring them down to your chest. Inhale, sweeping high. Exhale, fold. Fingertips coming up to your shins, open the chest, breathing in. Exhale, lower. Hands plant down, step back into your downward dog. Last time together, walk the feet forwards. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, start to roll up, breathing in. Open the chest, send the arms high. Exhale, hands towards you. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let yourself come down. Hands plant onto the mat. Stepping back into down dog. Hips going high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, see if you can press a little more into those heels. From here, a few little lifts and lowers into those ankles. So as you breathe in next time, lifting high up onto your tiptoes, high as you can go. Exhale, start to send the heels back down. 2 more, breathing in to lift up. Exhale to come down. Last one, breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Another little wiggle out, pedal through the feet. From here, starting to walk our way back with our hands, but first of all, moving our feet. They're about at the edges of the mat, toes pointing towards the outsides, so a bit of an angle. Walking your hands all the way back, and as you come back, start to bend through the knees, bringing ourselves into a squat. Now I'm going to bring my block underneath my bottom and just show you. So we could pop this block or anything, a cushion can actually work really well here, underneath our bottoms, just to give us a bit more stability. And in fact, if you do have one of those blocks available or a cushion, I would encourage you to use it right now, just because the aim of this stretch normally is often about opening up through the hips. But today we're really thinking about the upper body a bit more. So while it's always going to help us to do work on the hips and work on the ankle mobility, it's just not our focus right at this moment. So from where you are, whether you're on the block or you're just holding, you're going to move into a twist. Your left hand is going to cross in front of your left leg, and your right arm is going to open up. So we're reaching the right fingertips tall. Start to bring this right hand down. Same thing on the other side. It crosses in front of the leg, almost like we're locking in that shin. Left arm reaches, find all the space on the left hand side. Slowly bringing the hand down. Moving again through that one more time on each side. So your left hand in front of the leg, right arm opening up. We should feel a nice stretch down the sides of the back, sides of the waist, maybe into that lower back. This time, if you wish, this right hand can come around you, and we can try and tuck it through this little crease here. Oh, I need to get my arm out of the way so I can show you. Little crease here by the waist and the thigh. If you can't quite reach that, do not worry. That's just going to give you a bit more space to the shoulder. Maybe we're not up to it today, and we keep this right arm all the way up. Slowly coming out of that one, over to the other side, right hand in front, left arm opens, reaching towards the top. Again, if you did last time, see if we can do the same thing here. So we're turning and twisting through this arm, see if we can tuck it through this little crevice between our waist and our thigh. Turn yourself to the side. Now I appreciate if you're not on this block, your legs may be feeling into this one too, so just try and soften as much as you can. Slowly unravel, bringing yourself down, back out into our downward dog. So creep those hands forwards, send the toes, the feet a little bit further back, roll your shoulders, another little wiggle. Okay, with your left foot staying down, we're going to sweep this right leg all the way up towards the top. So we're reaching with the toes, send them high, and then starting to bring your right leg forwards, planting it towards the outside of the right hand. So we're going to stay here for a moment with this left knee lifted and just start to play around a little bit. So some rocks, in this low lunge. We should be feeling it a bit in towards our hips, but also working into our calf. So see if we can really roll forwards and backwards into those toes, getting a bit of space through the heel, and actually maybe just pressing your hand into your mat and press that left heel backwards. Staying open with the chest, staying lifted. Okay, start to bring this left knee down. Untucking your left toes, reaching the right arm up, turn to the side, open up through this upper body, and then release down. As you breathe in next time, coming up onto your fingertips. Exhale, start to fold your chest forwards. Maybe you want to move here onto a block or a cushion if you have one around you, or you can pop your forearms onto the mat. And feel free to just wiggle through this right knee or the hips. There is no right and wrong. See how you're doing. How does this feel for you? Slowly moving up onto your hands, moving your block or your cushion out of the way. And we're going to wiggle this right foot into the middle of the mat, bringing your hands around, tucking your left toes under. Start to lift up through that left knee, and then moving from here up into a high lunge. So we're reaching the arms up, sending them tall, sending them away from us. Starting out by really pressing back through this left heel. So we're still looking for that length, down through this left leg, in towards the ankle. And then we're going to soften slightly through those legs. So you might want to just come up, not completely straight, we've still got to bend through this right knee, but a little bit easier. Maybe walk that back foot in. So it's not all about the legs right now. On your next breath out, start to take your elbows out to the sides, bit of a cactus shape with the arms. Nice big breath in when you're here. Lift through the chest, send the shoulders away, elbows away. As you exhale now, start to round through the back, the shoulders, the chest. Drawing your fingertips together as if we've got a big beach ball in front of us. 2 more of those as you breathe in, rolling out to the chest, opening up. As you breathe out, curling forwards, tucking your chin. Really trying to round through the upper body. Last time as you breathe in to open up. Find some space across the front, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, curling up, rounding forwards. And softening down, bringing our hands behind us. Take a nice big breath in, interlace our fingers, roll the shoulders away, lift your chest. Start to straighten through this right leg here. That left knee can be a bit bent. Maybe you want to walk it closer together so our feet are both flat on the mat. Inhale, roll the shoulders away. As you breathe out, let's fold forwards. Still finding some space through this upper body, letting the arms come all the way back, reaching them away. Let your head be heavy. You may get a few little wobbles into the legs. There's a bit of a balance here too. Just try to breathe a bit slower. Focus on one thing in front of you. And if you can, bring your attention to where you're feeling this most. Can you soften into those places, release a little bit more? That may be shoulders, chest, it might be your back. Starting to untangle those fingers. Bend through your right knee, hands onto your mat. Stepping ourselves back into our downward dog. Shake through the shoulders. Give your legs a bit of a moment to rock side to side. Maybe exaggerate that rock. Really lean the hips over one way. Doing the same thing on the other side now. So your left leg is going to reach up, send the toes away, start to roll the shoulders back. Feel that stretch down toward this right heel, right ankle. Steadily stepping forwards, your left foot coming to the outside of the hands. And I should have said before, you can absolutely walk this foot further forward. So if it sort of lands about halfway and you need to give it a bit of a helping hand, feel free, that's absolutely fine. From here, starting out with that little rock, forwards and backwards, so working into the hips and through this right ankle. Pressing solidly through the hands, so we're not sinking our chest down, we're lifting up through the body. Good, I'm going to turn around and then I can see you a little bit more. Well, hopefully you can see me a bit more. That's the plan. So rocking forwards and backwards a little bit more. Slowly starting to bring your left knee, your right knee down even, untucking those toes. Taking a nice big breath in, opening up through the chest and starting to make your way down. So we're leading our chest down towards the mat. And then as you did before, if you did before, bringing your block or your cushion down in front of you, just letting your hands or your arms soften, maybe rock into your left knee, left hip. Deep breath here. Bringing your hands back up onto your mat, moving out that block or cushion to the side, keeping your right hand down for now. Let's just sweep up with the left arm, opening all the way up, reaching the fingertips away. And then bringing your hand down, wiggling your left foot into the middle of your mat, fingertips down on the ground, tucking those right toes under. Start to lift up with that right knee. From here, moving up into our high lunge, so sweeping the arms up. As before, starting out by working into our legs a little bit, so pressing down with the heel, lifting through the chest, lifting through those fingers, really reaching back with this right leg. So it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly straight or that heel is nowhere near the mat, that's absolutely fine. As long as we're feeling a stretch, I'm probably going to need to squeeze these glutes as well to get nice and strong. One more breath, see if you can just deepen it into it a little bit more even. Okay, we're going to bring our arms out to the side like before into that cactus shape, elbows about a 90-degree angle, chest lifted. Start to straighten slightly through this front leg. Maybe you're going to hop that back foot in a bit. So again, think about where we're working into. We're focusing on this upper body at the moment. Take a deep breath in as you lift through the chest, opening up. Maybe take your gaze slightly higher now. As you exhale, round, curl up, tuck your chin, hug that beach ball. 2 more, press solidly through that front foot, anchor it down to the mat. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round and curl forwards. Last time, we breathe in to open up, feel all this space in front. Take up the room. Exhale, curl round. Stretch between the shoulder blades. Start to release the arms down, straighten through your left knee, hands behind you. If you needed to wiggle that back foot in a bit again, feel free to do that now. Fingertips interlaced, roll the shoulders, lift your chest. As you exhale, fold forwards, sending your chest down, arms away, head's heavy. Again, you might get a few little wobbles, mini earthquakes. Work with them, you can learn from them every single time. So hopefully you're feeling this across the chest and the fronts of the shoulders and through that lower back. And you're probably going to feel a bit of a stretch through the back of this left knee as well. If that gets too intense at any time, just take a small bend That's absolutely fine. One more breath here. Letting go, fingertips unraveling down towards your mat. This time turning into a nice wide leg fold. So we're going to turn to face the long edge of our mat. Toes pointing to the sides, hands down in front of us. As you breathe in, lift halfway, just as we've done before. Exhale, fold down. Another one of those. Breathing in to lift up, open the body. Breathing out to fold. Good. And we're just going to stay here for a moment. So some of you may feel like you have a bit more room and you can wiggle those feet slightly further apart. Some of you may want to bring the feet so a bit closer and bend your knees. I'm just going to stay here with this upper body heavy. Maybe you want to rest your hands around the legs, or maybe you want to hold on to opposite elbow. And the reason we're going to hang here for a moment is just because as we let ourselves stay in this position, it's going to help us just to find a bit more length through these lower backs, give us a bit more stretch, a bit more release. You may feel like the tension or that stretch also builds up in the legs, and feel free to just wiggle the knees, rock side to side if you wish. So really just being heavy through this upper body. Closing the eyes. Two more steady breaths here. Feel free to wiggle as much as you need through the legs, the feet. Notice if you're that bit closer to the mat than you were a moment ago. Starting to let go of your elbows, or bring your hands down to your mat if they're on your legs. Let's take one more of those forward folds. As you breathe in, lift halfway. Exhale, lower yourselves down. Walking over towards your left foot, drawing your chest close in towards this leg. Let's lift up our left arm. Turn to the side, big twist, roll the shoulder away. Release down, walking over to the right. Hands joining around this shin, maybe your knee, your thigh. Right arm lifting up. Open up the shoulder, turn the body to the side, gaze up towards those fingertips. Slowly release down, hands onto our mats. Now, whichever end of your mat is either at the front or maybe your mat is side on, walk over to that foot. You're just going to come back down into a high plank. So step your right or your left foot back, depending on which side of the mat you went to. Knees onto the ground, toes untucked. Let's move into a child's pose. Bottom back to heels. Let your body fold over the lap. Arms staying in front of you. Head heavy. From here, beginning to creep our way forwards. Forearms staying on the mat. Extend back with the legs. Belly comes down. Just bring yourself with your forehead or maybe one of your ears onto the ground. Be heavy for a moment. Let gravity do its thing. Oh, feels nice. Starting to wiggle your forearms a bit closer to you depending on, excuse me, depending on how far away they are right now. Elbows nice and close, hands in line with our eyes and our ears. Taking a big roll of your shoulders. Start to press into those hands, those forearms, lift up through the front of the body into our Sphinx pose. We're really opening up through the chest, through from the belly button, nice stretch for our core. Slowly bring yourself down. You may want a little wiggle out through the legs, through the hips even. We're going to take that one more time and maybe move up into a seal pose as well. So for our Sphinx pose to start with, take a big roll of your shoulders. As you exhale, press into the forearms, lift through the chest. We want to feel like we're drawing the elbows back as we're drawing the chest and the tummy forwards. So we're not just sinking our body down and holding up here with those shoulders hunched. We're really strong through the arms, opening up through the chest, through the tummy. Good. Then we can stay here. Or if you want to take it slightly further to open up through the front of the body, start to walk your hands a bit further in front of you and then lift up your forearms. So moving into a seal pose. And depending on where your legs are here is where you're going to feel slightly different situations in terms of that stretch. So you may want to just separate those toes or the feet. You can stay lifted through the chest, or you may want to bring the legs together. See how that feels for you. The body works in mysterious ways. One more breath, whether in your Sphinx pose or this seal, soft through the shoulders, lift through the chest. Starting to bring yourself down. Roll through those hips. In fact, let's bend our knees, just rock side to side. Ease off through the lower back. You have one more stretch here on our tummies. So bringing your toes or your feet back down to the mat, bringing them together, so almost like we're zipping our legs in together. Hands coming behind us, interlace the fingertips, big roll of your shoulders, lift through the chest, extend those arms away, roll the shoulders back. Big lift even. And letting go. Let your body come down. Hands coming underneath your shoulders, toes tuck. Send the hips back through a child's pose. Rolling straight away, nice and curling up through the body to seated. And then bringing your legs out one side. Coming onto our bottoms. We are almost there, very, very well done. Before we do anything else, we're going to come onto a forward fold. Obviously, we have to when we're looking at lower backs. There is nothing getting in the way of our lower backs that a forward fold cannot help us with. So, from here, bringing your right knee in. Let that right knee go out to the side. Sole of your foot on the inside of this left thigh. Maybe you want to have your strap or a little dressing gown belt nearby, depending on how much room we have in the hamstrings in the lower back today. So I'm going to start out with just the hands, and then I'll show you with the rope. As you take a deep breath in, lift the arms up. Exhale, sending your fingertips forwards. Maybe you're moving your hands towards the toes or the foot. Maybe it's the ankle, maybe it's the shin. Try and lean your body forwards. So you can absolutely be here without using any tool for assistance. But if you would like to use something to help you get into your stretch a little bit deeper when you don't quite have the space, then just loop your strap or your belt around the foot, the ball of the foot really, and then holding on to this strap, drawing yourself forwards and down. And I'd just be aware here that you don't want to be really building up all this tension through the upper body. So if you start to just feel like you're hunching over and you're going forwards and forwards and forwards, but you're getting even more curled down, we want to think about having some space. So it doesn't really matter how close our chest or our tummy is towards this leg. We're looking for a nice long spine and our shoulders are still lifted. And that's going to help us reach the parts of the lower back that we want to. So drawing yourself forwards and down, not just down. From here, as we've got this right knee open up to the side, we can take our lovely little twist, your right arm lifting up. We should again feel a nice stretch through that side of the back, down the waist. Slowly letting go. Bring the right hand down, taking your strap away from this left foot. If you had it there, and we'll switch the legs over. So your left knee to the outside, sole of the foot onto the inside of your right thigh. Either with your strap or just with your hands, taking a deep breath in first. As you breathe out, sending your chest forwards and down. Remember those shoulders are lifted, chest open. Slight tuck of our chin so our necks are still in line with the rest of the body. Notice where you're feeling this. If it is too intense on these legs, remember that's not our focus today, so it's absolutely fine to ease off at any time, but definitely when your focus is not in that place. Staying here, if you did take that twist last time, start to roll open with this left arm. Right hand stays where it is. Just lifting up through the side of the waist. Gaze is up high. And then gently coming down. Turning your chest forwards and lifting your weight up. Okay, coming onto our backs. Keep this strap nearby if you have it with you. Coming onto your backs, let's just give our knees a nice big hug. Rock side to side. That might feel good for some of you on your backs. You have one final little stretch and then we're going to come to rest down and just be still for a few moments. Letting your left knee go out long. Just keep this right knee in. Again, as I said, if you have that strap nearby, we can use it again here. So if you do have the strap, we're going to loop it around, oops, if I can get it, around the foot. If you don't have the strap, do not worry, just send the foot high. Around the ball of the foot if you can for that strap. And try and really press the heel away while you're drawing the ball of the foot towards you. So a nice stretch into those calves one last time. So if you don't quite have the strap, that's absolutely fine. Just going to hold your hands towards the back of the thigh and press the heel away still. So we're still drawing the toes back and the heel lifting. You just don't have the strap to aid that, which is not a problem because it's the same stretch, just slightly different intensities. So one more breath here. Slowly releasing the strap from your foot. Start to bend through the right knee, and we're going to take a twist. So your right leg going over towards the left side. Right arm opening up towards the right. Try and press this right shoulder down onto your mat or onto the ground as we enjoy that lovely twist, that turn through the spine, particularly on those lower backs and into the glutes. As you breathe here, you may just be able to soften down a little bit more. One more deep breath. Starting to bring this right leg up and then send it out in front. Repeating all of that on the left side, your left knee coming in, either wrapping the strap around your foot or just sending the foot up high, pressing the heel away, drawing the toes and the ball of the foot back towards you as we find that stretch through the calf, through the ankle, heel lifting. Remember, even if we've got this strap, we're not going to be too strong through the shoulders that we're hunching up through to the neck. So it is going to take a bit of strength to draw this strap back, but we don't want to be really crowding out through the necks. One more deep breath. Starting to let go. Knee bends. Taking that strap away. We are done with that for now. Taking the knee over towards your right side. Left arm going out. Gaze over towards your left fingers, left elbow, left shoulder. As always, your knee does not need to be down on the mat. Just going to find the stretch. Take the shoulder down to the ground. Enjoy that twist, that turn. Where can you soften as you breathe out? Steadily releasing, knee coming back up to the top. Maybe joining in with your right knee now, taking one nice big cuddle before planting your feet either down onto the mat or maybe at the opposite end, legs going straight, arms wherever you want them to be. We're just going to come and rest down here now. Of course, if there's one thing that you just think, I need to do that stretch now, this is what I need, then go for it. This is your time. Otherwise, just coming to rest down, close your eyes just for a minute. Be still. Notice how you're doing. Breathe.